back with another of those block rockin' beats. Yeah, I wanted to sound cool. Now, here comes the uncool part. Apparently, since a couple of weeks, I'm running across a store called HS. What is it? Yeah, Immobilien. What the fuck? What was it? Selling and buying houses and flats. I always forget the name. What is it like? Land realtor. Yeah, realtor business. And yeah, HS is sort of a shortcoming for Hurensohn, son of a bitch. And in English, it's more like you little son of a bitch. This is more like somebody who misbehaves. But in a German context, it's quite a dire insult. And I love how the context is missing, but the people didn't inform themselves what they should name their business, which is just a slur or insult or what, And it's not just this, it's also, I tried out Fino is okay. And the funny thing about this is, when you boot up your device, it says, warning, this is not the official Google stock ROM, This the safety has been compromised. And I like how it says that, because this means there is one kind of hardware aware and one operating system, and we all have to follow those guidelines, And the same thing applies with imagine somebody pulled this shit off with what is it? The other things. Like for example, you buy a PC and you don't install Windows 11 on it, and always when you boot up your PC, a warning flashing triangle says you are not installing, you're not running Windows 11. This is wrong, your system is compromised. Use Windows 11, haha, for maximum security, whatever that means. But yeah, kind of interesting to see. The funny thing about that is they could get away with it, because this is interesting. If Microsoft, I'm just aware of this. If Microsoft had seized the opportunity to be like 100%, up in everyone's face, playing with the guilt and fear of other people, they would have come a little bit further. Because end user protection is non-existent, I like there are officially companies out there. They get like government money, and their job is to make sure that companies behave and don't misbehave. But every so often, every couple of decades, in some country, at some time, some small product is being criticized from these end user protection companies, be it via government funds or via donations, which is kind of ridiculous, because on one hand it's a big apparatus and big company is always right, because bigger numby, I like numby, bigger numby, more truthy, and this is, I like how they say no, this is not true, especially not in Germany and whatnot. I'm just always telling you all this stuff from Germany-wise perspective. And then you see in America that a couple of criminals get a slap on the wrist and going free again. Dare I say, if it comes to Epstein and whatnot, let's suppose he would have not killed himself, wink wink, he would have gotten away with it, because it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you do, if the money is high enough, there are no repercussions. And allegedly, I don't know if this is true, in the German legal system, there would have been more dire consequences. The consequences, this is what they say. But then you see also a lot of politicians that do criminal shit. So my advice would be, if you're 100% serious about about doing illegal crimes, you know? Like, if you really want to do this stuff, so the illegal crimes and all the shit, then you study, politics and the history of politics and whatnot, and then you go into politics, and from there you're basically immune, you know? You cannot be held guilty for anything at any time. Just do your illegal shit. I'm not saying that this applies to every politician, but you've seen a couple of cases, and you have your three authorities, you know. This is what we learn at school. You have your judges, you know. Back then, in the Nazi regime, you had the Nazis, which were also quite bad because, like, only one instance of rule. Then they said, how about we split it up in three? You know, this is like logical. We got our politicians, we got our judges, and we got the executing force, the police. And now you have all these three instances. Let's say one takes like corruption money, is literally actively involved into smuggling people or drugs or doing other kind of illegal shit, not kind of, but very illegal shit, you know. And when you look at this spectrum, at this triangle, when you look at a judge, what will be the consequences for the judge if this comes out? I don't think he'll be a judge anymore, you know. If you look at the policeman and you look at this shit, do you think he will be a policeman anymore? I don't think so. But if you look at the politician, and I know I'm talking about generalization here, but if you look at a per crime data rate, this could be also that I have a skewed bias towards this, maybe, I don't know. But if you look at this triangle, dare I say, policemen, they're out in the fields force, which is also quite ironic. There's a lot of power to abuse. There are some power abuses. Then you'll see that they are the ones who get stricken down immediately, which means, in consequence, that yeah, the it's almost blue collar like, you know. The lowest denominator, the smallest force gets the biggest punishment. When you look at it the other way around, then there comes the judge, you know. The judge's decision should be objective and not be sinister and whatnot, with ulterior sinister motives and whatnot. Then you'll see, if this person does something wrong, there might be also quite dire consequences. But if you look at a per crime ratio, and it's also hard to put this in numbers if you look at the crime, but if it comes to politics, you know, politics is everything. Politics is not just being like, we should be happy with other countries and our country is thriving and everyone is happy and we got a good internet connection, we got good health insurance, school is doing fine, all the roads are being built, we have no debt in our country. And then you look at politicians, a very big part of politics is like, especially nowadays, I suppose, maybe, it's like corruption money, yeah, and getting all this corruption money, and there are like no consequences. This is like, I don't know if this is so good for your next election, gets elected again. I don't know, you gotta be, you know, there could be consequences in the future. And if somebody fucks up, like seriously fucks up, you know, then the head will roll. But until then, I think like you have a very big threshold as a politician to fuck up. With the argument that is being made that is like politics, man. That's politics 101. You take like bribery money, then everything is fine. So what is your problem, man? Why are you being like this? You know, big part of politics is like taking bribery money and being corrupt as fuck and have no integrity. And yeah, you know, the scummier it gets, the better it is, or the less competent you are in your field, the better this is. So yeah, this is what I see. And we kind of allow this behavior, because if you think about it, what would be the real solution to this problem? not eat the rich, but eat the people who did shit like this, you know? Maybe acquiring wealth is not so bad after all, you know, but how about ethical dilemmas? You know, this this is one thing when you say like the infinite rich person gets 1% less money or whatever, you know? This is like, yeah, these are the basics. But if you let's suppose we roll out this scenario. One person is doing illegal shit as a politician, and the official declared statement is, if you do something very bad, the whole public will eat you, like literally eat you, like Middle Ages. And this thought of being eaten, you know, this kind of dread and fear invoked into this politician might be the kickstart, you know, to Jesus Christ, I better do not some hardcore illegal shit, you know, or not illegal shit at all. And this might be a wake-up call to say, I prefer to be not eaten, you know, alive on live television, you know. And maybe by increasing the diet, is this coming from a rational place? I don't think so, because you shouldn't eat people. This makes you very sick. But on the other hand, you know, only by initializing this kind of fear, this might be a right step towards the proper direction. Because there's also the argument to be made, if you fear nothing, where are your limits, you know? If there's no fear, you know, fear has an upside and a downside. The upside is it protects you from doing super stupid shit in general, you know? Also health-wise, why don't I jump in front of a train? Just for fun, just to look, you know, would be a kind of different thing. But on the other hand, you know, on the other hand, it should stop people where they don't stop in real life, you know, and they don't stop coming, So yeah, maybe we should implement this, eating people who do illegal shit, especially on a politician spectrum, because I think we are almost looking strongly enough at police and judges, you know, but we turn somehow 1 or 10,000 blind eyes when it comes to politics and all this. And it's also politics, you know, being a super scummy piece of shit is like, it's politics, man, it's politics. It has to be like this because we established this as the lowest denominator. This is where we find the middle ground. This is where we all talk and get together by being pieces of shit, by yelling at each other, and, you know, being obnoxious, interrupting everybody. We don't think, you know, we just act, and what we say is law, and this is good because it's good, and we need many parties with very stupid views. And yeah, so you have many stupid people doing many stupid things, or you have one big stupid person doing one stupid thing at a time. Yeah, so choose between your stupid decisions, and then you say, oh, this is stupid and this is stupid. Yeah, but yeah, you get the idea.